When we boarded...
Peter.
Sorry, Judith.
When we boarded the Flylow cruise liner, we were shown to our quarters in the bowels of the ship, only to discover that our cabin was flooded waist-deep with seawater, but we thought, oh hum, let's get on with it. It's only our bottom halves that are going to get wet.
So we set sail...
Peter, I'm talking. It's very rude.
Sorry, Judith.
So we set sail, and we'd only just left the port at Athens when it emerged that all 780 passengers on board the vessel had contracted dysentery.
You had to queue for 14 hours.
Peter, you and I are going to come to blows in a minute. You had to queue for 14 hours to use the lavatories. Well, we'd been waiting 13 hours, and it was very nearly our turn, when we heard gunshots and discovered that the boat had been boarded by pirates.
They rounded up all the passengers.
Peter! They rounded up all the passengers on deck and singled out Peter and I and took us hostage, which meant we missed the buffet. We were then taken to a room and told that one of us was going to have to perform sexual acts upon the pirates at gunpoint. Well, I popped my hand in the air and volunteered Peter. But before my husband had a chance to engage in anything other than mild foreplay with three of the men, the boat was stormed by the Greek Coast Guard. There was a shootout, bodies everywhere, and just as I thought, surely this cruise can't get any worse, we discovered that the cabaret that night was John Barrowman.
That's when I broke down.
I would like a complaint form, please.
What's the problem?
Well, we booked a holiday through your so-called company, and we have had the holiday from hell. It was our anniversary, so we booked to go to Cyprus.
It all started when we got off the plane.
Yes, thank you, Peter. It all started when we got off the plane and discovered that the Flylow hotel complex hadn't been built yet. It was just a mound of earth. Well, that was our first disappointment, but we thought, ho-hum, let's get on with it. And we dug a hole in the ground and stayed there.
I booked for a continental breakfast.
Yes, thank you, Peter. We booked for a continental breakfast, meats and cheeses, a selection of pastries, a choice of tea or coffee. But there was no food at all.
Not a sausage.
Yeah, you're now complicating matters, Peter, because in fairness to Flylow, they never promised sausages.
Sorry, Judith.
Apology accepted, Peter. Yes, there was no food whatsoever, but we thought, ho-hum, no point feeling sorry for ourselves, and we survived on a diet of insects and grubs.
I'm a vegetarian, so I just ate soil.
Yes, I was coming to that, Peter. Peter is a vegetarian, so he just ate soil. Now, the problem was, I don't know if the soil hadn't been cooked properly, but Peter had a very, very bad upset stomach.
Loose stools.
Oh, Peter, don't be disgusting. We don't need to hear about that.
Sorry, Judith.
Peter had very loose stools, and for the remainder of the trip was lying on the ground clutching his guts with a cork up his anus.
Wasn't the worst holiday we've been on, but it's certainly up there.
By way of apology for the previous debacle, Flylow offered us a very good deal on a package holiday to Colombia.
Now, as soon as we came out of Bogota...
As soon as we came out of Bogota Airport, Peter was bitten by a rabid dog. Within minutes, he was howling and foaming at the mouth. My first thought was, can I have Peter put down? I looked into it.
But the doctor said it was unethical.
Yes, thank you, Peter, but the doctors said it was unethical. Peter became more and more ill.
I had diarrhea and was projectile vomiting.
Peter, don't be so cruel.
Sorry, Judith.
Peter had diarrhea and was projectile vomiting. If you'd spun him round, you'd have thought he was a Catherine wheel.
So we decided...
So I decided that the best course of action was to take the first plane home. Now, while we were waiting at the airport, a very charming man called Carlos approached me and offered me $5,000 to take his briefcase through customs.
I had reservations.
Peter had reservations, but we were saving up for a loft conversion, so I said yes and gave the briefcase to Peter to carry.
When we landed in England...
Peter, if I could just get a word in edgeways.
Sorry, Judith.
I should hope so too, Peter. When we landed in England, Peter was stopped at customs. They searched the briefcase and found 20 kilograms of cocaine with a street value of £500,000. Peter was arrested and is looking at a prison sentence of no less than 12 years.
If I had to rate the holiday out of 5, I'd struggle to give it more than 3.
After last week's disaster, Flylow gave us 2 free tickets to Peru. So far, so good.
We're flying over the Andes.
I'm talking, you're talking. We can't both be talking.
Sorry, Judith.
Apology accepted on this occasion, Peter.
Thank you, Judith.
So, we're on the plane flying over the Andes. Now, the first disappointment was there was no fresh milk. It was UHT. And the second disappointment was that the engines failed and the plane crashed into a mountain.
All the passengers huddled together.
All the passengers huddled together on the ice. It was immediately apparent that we were all very hungry. So I suggested that we eat Peter.
Not all of me.
No, not all of you. That would be unkind. So I found a penknife and hacked off Peter's leg.
As you can see, I now sport a prosthetic limb.
Yes. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, Peter.
Oh, sorry, Judith.
So, I popped Peter's leg on the barbecue and at the same time rustled up some simple but always popular dishes. Coleslaw, a potato salad and couscous, which I do with roasted vegetables.
It's one of Nigella's.
Now, Peter's leg was almost done when the rescue helicopter arrived. We'd only been on the mountain for half an hour. Unfortunately, they couldn't save Peter's leg. It had been cooked right through and also been dipped in a garlic and herb marinade.
If I had to sum up the holiday in one word, I would say disappointing.
And the real shame for me was that the potato salad remained untouched.